Come on and ride MTA.
My name's Steve Bland. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Nashville MTA and the Regional Transportation Authority of Middle Tennessee. And we really appreciate the beautiful weather to celebrate the start of a new service. In fact, I was talking to one of our fans out here, said 20 years ago I suggested this service, so we may move slowly, but we do respond. So here we are. Very exciting moment, and I really appreciate a number of the dignitaries who are here. You'll certainly hear from Mayor Megan Barry of Nashville here in a few minutes, as well as MTA Board Chair Gail Carr-Williams. But I also want to thank Walt Searcy of the MTA Board for being here, as well as several of our Metro Council people. I know I saw Colby Sledge here earlier. Devette Blaylock is here, and Mike Freeman, whose district that we're in, is here as well. So thank you all for being here and participating, and a number of our other community partners. I want to thank the Coleman Park Community Center for allowing us to host here. It is a significant stop on this route, the new 77 Thompson Connector, so we expect to attract lots of traffic in and out of this particular facility. This route is the result of a number of partnerships coming together, and more important, it's a result of us listening to and responding to the demands of our customers and potential customers. Culminating last September, we conducted the N-Motion Strategic Transit Plan, and we engaged over 20,000 Middle Tennesseans. And it's pretty safe to say that probably 19,500 of them asked for more crosstown connections, more direct connections in our service area. This new route, the Thompson Connector, will connect two of our busiest service corridors, the Murfreesboro Road line and the Nolensville Road line, in what has to be one of the fastest growing segments of Nashville. So we're anxious for it to find its legs and for it to continue to increase in ridership. This will allow for a number of connections, not just along Thompson Road, but frankly unique connections getting people from the 100 Oaks area out into the Nolensville corridor. I see Renata Soda from Casa Azafran here, so certainly we're expecting a lot of the folks who use Casa Azafran's facilities to be regular users of this route. Another feature of this service that we would like you to actively promote, because it can be a difficult area of town to walk around, this route does have flex characteristics. So for people who maybe aren't directly on the route, can't specifically get to a bus stop on the route, we do have the ability with these buses, they're a little bit more nimble, so we can go off route up to about a half a mile to pick up and drop people off. So we would actively encourage folks who are here to let people that they interact with know about that, and it is contained in the informational material. New service runs 6 days a week. And I want to thank a couple of our funding partners. It was funded in large part with a federal USDOT Access to Jobs grant, but I see Liza Jofrion from TDOT here, and TDOT is also a significant funding partner of this particular service, as is Metro Nashville. So our thanks again to the Mayor's Office and Metro Council for their support of this service. So with no further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our board chair, Gail Carr-Williams, for some remarks and to introduce the mayor.
Good morning. What a glorious day out here, right? Nice day to be on transit. So this is an exciting day for MTA, and I'm so glad to see all of you here today, and I'm honored to be here. I feel like it is just an amazing opportunity. And on behalf of my fellow MTA board members, and one of my fellow board members, Walter Searcy, is here with us today, we want to thank you very much for being here. You know, this route is one of the first initiatives of the In-Motion Plan. And as Steve mentioned to you, we had over 20,000 people engage with us as we did the In-Motion Plan. And that was amazing. So I want to make sure and I take a very special opportunity to thank our community for engaging with us, because this is your transit system. This is a community effort. And as a result of this community, we stand here today introducing this amazing new route that we are all so very excited about. When the MTA board approved the In-Motion Plan last fall, it was because we felt it met the principles established for the MTA strategic plan, which is to connect enhance, simplify, and sustain public transit use in and around Nashville. And this new service along Thompson Lane does exactly that. We're connecting two of our busiest corridors in Nashville, making traveling between 100 Oaks and the airport simpler, enhancing access to business, job training, and residences along the corridor, and doing our part to enhance mobility in a time when this area, Berry Hill, Woodbine, and Murfreesboro Road, are experiencing the same explosive growth as the rest of the city. Again, we were listening to the voice of our residents in our community. During our last board meeting, I want to call out a very dear friend of MTA, John Bull, who's standing back over there. You know, John uses the MTA on a regular basis, and he comes to our board meetings and he tells us how we can be better. He tells us how we do great, and he just is a friend of transit and a friend of the Nashville community to make certain that this asset is an asset that is improved upon on a daily basis. So John, thank you for being there and sharing with us. But let me tell you what he told us at our last board meeting. He said, I live in Midtown and ride the bus a lot. I am really delighted that Route 77 is coming online. On April 4th, today, I will be at the Coleman Center with all the bells and whistles. I am looking for housing, and that opens up the area of Davidson County that was not even on my radar. Well done, John. Glad you're here, and it is April 4th, so thank you. So it will continue to take each of us, not just John, doing our part to ultimately get where we want to for the future of transit to be. Today's service launch is an important step along this journey. From the onset, Mayor Berry has made transportation issues of Nashville a focus of her time in office and her time on Metro Council. And her support of MTA and In Motion has allowed us to plan for improvements to our system that will benefit Nashvillians and Middle Tennessee residents now and in years to come. So to that point, it is my honor and it is my pleasure, my pure delight to turn the podium over to our leader, our mayor, one that I have great respect and of course share priorities in transit along with a multitude of other things that she is doing incredibly well here in Nashville. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Berry.
Thank you, Gail, for that very kind introduction. You know, Gail and Walter, who both serve on the MTA board, do this because they love Nashville. There is no greater or higher calling for Nashville than to serve, and these two do it so well, and that is why we are here today. And they do it under the leadership of Steve Bland and his team that have made this possible. And today we're standing in Councilmember Mike Freeman's district, which is very exciting. Councilman Freeman is a hero these days, so it's great to see him. We are also joined by State Representative Jason Powell, who is a tireless advocate for transit. Every conversation we have, he wants to make sure that his constituents are getting the transit that they deserve. We are also joined by Councilmember Colby Sledge and Councilmember DeVette Blaylock, so it is great to have all of you with us today. So when I talk to transit riders, they often tell me that they just wish it was easier to get from one part of town to another part of town without having to ride a bus downtown and change. So MTA's new route, Route 77, makes that possible. So if you are in the 100 Oaks area and you need to go somewhere between Murfreesboro Pike or vice versa, this is the route that's going to work for you. So crosstown routes are among the services that the 18,000 participants in the in-motion planning process wanted most. And we are going to be creating more of them. My administration and MTA are working every day to bring that in-motion plan to life. So MTA bus riders should be able to get where they need to go much more efficiently, and this route is just one example. It's fast, it's reliable, it's direct, and it is customer friendly. In fact, my office heard from a rider just yesterday which was the first day of the route, who called this a home run. She said it has already made her life easier, and it will make the life easier for many other people. And I, too, had the opportunity to talk to John when I walked up. And John, too, talked about how this just opened up a whole lot of housing opportunities for him. When we can connect transit to housing, that is absolutely a home run. Route 77 is also going to bring more trainees to the Kroger Training Center over on East Thompson Lane. It's going to help employees and customers get to the many businesses that are along this route. And that is exactly what transit should do. It should get people to their jobs. It should get people to school. It should get people to their doctor's offices and back home in a way that respects them and their families and does not waste their time. We have had a hub and spoke route system for too long, and now we're starting to fill in the parts of the wheel that sit between those spokes. So this represents a great partnership across 3 levels of government. Funding that came from the Federal Transit Administration, the state of Tennessee, and Metro. I also want to thank Urban Housing Solutions at Radnor Towers for coordinating with MTA to make those flex stops possible so that riders have options beyond just our traditional fixed stops. As Nashville continues to grow, which we know it will, increasing transit options will become more and more critical. So Route 77 is just one small but important step on that journey, and I am truly grateful for everybody here who has made it possible. Thank you. Steve, come on back.
Well, we thank you all for coming. That concludes the formal part of the program. The regular 77, in case you were wondering, we don't normally sit here this long. This is a staged vehicle. But the regular 77 will be pulling in just under 10 minutes. So we would encourage anyone who would love to give it a try. I'll vouch for you and have the driver kind of let you on just for today. So thank you all for coming. We hope you get to enjoy the beautiful day. Please pick up public information. We have route brochures, route schedules, multilingual over on the information table. And feel free to ask us any questions that you might have about the service or the in-motion plan in general. We thank you for coming and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
MTA. Yes, we're going your way. Na na na, na na na. Yes, we're going your way.